as well. We've just got some more people coming in just now. Hi, welcome. We're just popping in the chat just now where we're actually joining from. If you want to pop that in the chat, that'd be great. Nigeria, fantastic. London, Oregon. Excellent. Excellent. Michigan. Fantastic. We've just got some more people coming in just now. Toronto. Lovely. Okay. Okay, and I'll just introduce you first of all to Erwin de Graaf, the CEO of the Coaching Tools Company.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to see you all from over the planet. I'm in southern Spain, so for everybody asking, so great to see you all here. Today, we're really going to look at something really exciting that we're really excited about, together with the Director of Coaching of the Coaching Tools Company, Dr. Steve Jeffs. We are going really to talk about the mastering the whole client journey, mastering the coaching process. So, hello, Steve. How you doing?
Hey, Erwin, I'm really good. I'm excited. I'm stoked. There are so many UK folks here. I know Coaching Tools who do a lot of stuff in North America, and with us living on this side of the world, it's super cool. So I hope you're enjoying the sunshine. I love it, and welcome to everyone else from all over the planet. Hey, Erwin, before you and I get too far, tell us a little bit about you, your background, and
Yes.
to be blunt, why should we be listening to you when you're talking about coaching?
Yes, of course. So, first of all, I'm a business mentor, M&A investor, but also a professional coach. I've been management consultancy with many multinationals, smaller businesses, startups, coaches as well. What we're going to talk about today is really something that lays closely to my heart because I've seen many coaches that or people starting as a coach really excited, really motivated with the passion, and it's a struggle for them as well. And today we want to have a look at this from a higher view. I'm not going to go into too much detail now because otherwise I'm telling everything we're going to talk about today. But it is something that many coaches are missing, which is a part that I've learned in the business side of world. So in business. And that's really important. So that is what we're going to talk about. That's what I'm bringing here to the table, not only coaching, but also the whole business side of it. And yourself, Steve, who are you and why should we listen to you as well?
Well, if I'm going to be direct and put you on the spot, I've got to hold myself to account as well. So I'm Dr. Steve Jeffs. My doctorate's in leadership and very much in the space of coach-like leadership and bringing coach-like ways of being into the workplace to transform organizational cultures. I've been coaching for just over 20 years. I'm faculty with a number of coach training schools, and I get really excited about helping coaches to see themselves through a different lens, to grasp the simplicity of great coaching. And when Aaron and I were chatting the other day, I was reflecting on some of the mentoring that I'm doing and some of the consistent conversations that I'm having with coaches as they're going through certification or even post certification journeys. And so that's really what inspired us today to put together some insights that we've gained both as coaches, but also as helping coaches take their impact to the next level. And this coaching process is one of those that doesn't get enough attention. We focus a lot as coaches on, hi, client, welcome. What's your topic? And then we get to the end and we go, so what are you going to do to apply it? When? How will we know? And all of those accountability type questions. And there's so much more than that. There's so much more that clients can be doing to support themselves on the journey. And a little secret, I guess, the best clients to me are the ones that partner and they work as hard on their journey as I'm working for them. But they don't know how to do that because there's no course on how to be a great client except in their journey with us. And so when we pay attention to that process, what do they need? What do we need? And how do we come together? Things things transform. So
And Matt, also, Steve, another reason that what we're doing today is we've heard many coaching talking about what their challenges are. Say, yes, I've learned everything what I need to know about a good coaching session, what's going on, but I'm missing pieces in the whole thing. It's not like I cannot give the biggest part that I want to give. I think, Steve, we got some slides about this as well.
we do. Wish me luck.
Yeah, well, I wish you luck. Go for it.
All right. This is hilarious. Coaching is about authenticity and openness. And hopefully you can see a slide there that's got.
Yes, we do.
All right, good. So we're not looking at death by PowerPoint, but it's really cool sometimes to see and be reinforced, like visually, what's going on. Please feel free to throw any questions that you've got in the chat. Emma will keep an eye on that for us. And we do have space at the end today for Q&A. And there's probably going to be way more questions than we're going to get to today. So feel free to reach out to us and stay in touch. We want to create community and support so that we can all impact the world, because there's so much about what's going on right now that coaching can positively impact. So we were chatting with some coaches recently, and here's some quotes that we heard from some of the places that they were struggling. Someone in our mentor program actually was saying, look, I know how to coach, but there are so many pieces around the coaching session that I'm missing. She didn't know who to ask.
Yeah, like someone else also was saying, I was told that coaching is easy and simple, but actually there's so much more to it than just coaching. And so a lot of people get excited to do coaching, but it's much more going around.
I love this one. I want my clients to achieve the best possible result. And I feel that the coaching sessions are just not enough. Now, these are coaches that are in advanced level training. They're starting to recognize that they can see the possibility and they can see what can be achieved, and they're holding themselves to that higher standard. There's this layer of judgment that you may see through here. There's also this layer of opportunity, which is what excites me, to be honest.
Yeah, and someone else also said, as a coach, I feel like that I'm on an island most of the times, with no support to navigate everything that is happening around me. As coaches, as I mentioned before, we get really excited, but we also very often get into an island and we don't have the possibility to talk to others about what's all happening around me in my coaching business and my coaching. And that's a challenge that a lot of seen that people have.
Absolutely. Yeah, outside the coaching session, I'm always starting from scratch. There's got to be better ways to do it. The sense of making things up. One of the things that I appreciate is working closely on projects, usually where there's other coaches, there's project managers, there's systems in place. And it's one of those things that often as coaches, when we leave employment, there's systems that allow us and support us to operate. And when we step out as the coach, often we do have to do everything. We do have to make it up. And we want to create platforms of conversations, not just the mentor program that which we'll talk about later, but also community conversations, so that we can all find the answers that we're looking for as we need them, when we need them, to be able to continue to move forward.
So today, what we're going to talk about, what separates good coaches from great ones, and it's not what you think it is. How to turn your clients' insights into real-world results, and thirdly, a new way to see and explain your coaching value, start to finish. So it's really looking at, and it's something really exciting that we're going to talk about, because we had a chat the other day also in the mentor program about this. Put that in a minute about, yeah.
So what separates good coaches? So it's not just skill. Skill is important. What you're doing, who you're being, we know that these are important. We learn all of this, we practice all of this as we go through our coach training. And it's also the structure, it's the strategy, it's the support. It's the mindset that we bring as a coach to what it is about coaching that's most transformational. And What else? A wonderful coaching question. I've spent so much time as a coach going, I'm the instrument of change. I've got to show up and I've got to make this session so powerful. And yet when we step back, even if you were doing 1 hour a week with a client, there's 167 other hours every single week that are influencing, impact, and often overwhelming our clients. And so to recognize this and start to look at, well, what systems and structures can we put in place? A, so our clients can continue to move forwards, and B, so that we can show up most powerfully and get the best use out of our time when we bring that into our clients. So of course, if you believe coaching is about more than just a session, then absolutely you'll be recognizing the power of this support for you, for your clients, and ultimately for that coaching relationship, because it's the synergy of coach and client. That's where the magic of coaching lies. And my experience, both as a trainer of coaches and working with coaches coming out of training, is that for a very good purpose. Most coach training is focused from topic to accountability. It's on the coaching session. That's where most of us need the most support as we start our careers in coaching. And there's a gap. And this is the gap that we want to be filling, or at least providing the opportunity for you to find the answers that you need to keep moving forwards.
Yes. So if you look at it in general, the initial view of the coaching process, you have the coaching, and next to it or under it or above it, doesn't matter, you have the admin. Yeah, just all the administration, certain administration that's related to scheduling a coaching call with your coachee, with your client, sending something over. But it's basic. That's the initial view that we learn and that we get about coaching and the coaching process. But that's not it.
Hey, just for fun, put in the chat which is your favorite. Are you loving the coaching, the admin? Like, what really lights your fire?
Oh yeah.
I'm guessing that for most of us, it's the coaching. It's why we get into coaching in the first place. It's why we're coaches, not administrators. Although I do know some coaches that are brilliant at the admin side and they integrate it really well. But if you're anything like me, I've spent more time researching, do I use Calendly? Do I use this? Do I do something else? Now I've got to chase some. I remember one coaching project where I spent more time following up all of the clients to get them into the coaching sessions than I did coaching. I spend more time in the admin than in the coaching. You can imagine my excitement around that. Although there were moments of excitement when I did get the clients to show up to coaching. Lots of insights, lots of learning, and I certainly don't recommend that.
And everybody's saying in the chat, coaching, and you need the admin, and definitely coaching. So there you go.
Yeah. So when we look at coaching, coaching is coaching. It is more than a session. We recognize that there are different types and flavors of sessions that we have with our clients. Of course, there's a sample session. Sometimes that's a chemistry session, or sometimes it's discovery, depending on the language you use. The essence here is that's the session before the client's really a client. That's their taster session. That's you tasting them tasting you. Do we want to work together? And then, of course, once you've got the engagement and the commitment from the client, you've got your agreements and your contracts, by the way, which aren't really on here. It's some of the admin. You can move into the discovery. We do values and visions and things like that. And I know some of you have got some really great tools to help you there. Once we've discovered, do we then move into ongoing coaching sessions? There may be some review sessions in here, maybe there's not. But there's this whole journey that starts to emerge, which comes to an end at some point. Had a great conversation with a mentee about this the other day, about using the completion to recognize, celebrate, but also articulate what's coming out of the journey. So the client walks away not just transformed, but also with a story of transformation that they can share with others, both to own their own new story, but also to help inspire the people around them. And then, of course, is what's next. Any great journey also has a look to the future and starts to go, well, where to from here?
And then you have the admin side, what we talk, like some goal setting. the invoicing, which is really important. You want to get paid. The admin, some documents, the scheduling. These are the most important parts of admin. Do you think we've missed anything in this? Just put it in the chat if you think that
We probably have, by the way. It's a little bit of a loaded question.
Oh yeah.
So, what do you think?
Yeah, I know.
What do you think we've missed? Because this is really where actually this is more advanced a view of coaching than a lot of the people that I've been training. And I think it's really exciting to start from a place like this. But the insight that we had the other day was, well, actually, Owen, I'll let you tell your insight because I think it's really cool. Not just the approach, but also the metaphor that you found that can help us as coaches take the impact and take our profession to another professional level.
Yes. So I was talking to the mentor group the other day, and I came to the metaphor saying, actually, look at a coaching and certainly the coaching process as a TV series. I think you'll all like TV series and TV show. You have a pilot, and then you have, if that works out, then you have all the different episodes that have their own story, which is in coaching would be the what's your topic of today. But then each TV series season has their own story, which is the goal setting that you set up in the beginning with the client. And at the end, you have like that cliffhanger coming on, which what we call in coaching the completion kind of say, okay, oh, and then you go, oh, what's going to happen? I want to see when is the next season coming out because you're just like hanging in there. You want to know what is happening. But then I asked myself the question. So if you look from a client's point of view, oh, that's great. I have like a TV series. I have my episode with my client. But there's so much things happening around the TV show and the series. It's not like someone just takes a camera and just shoots a few things and puts it out. You have the directors, you have the producers, you have as you can see, so you have the whole TV show, but then you have the whole behind the scenes that is going on. You need to find someone who's going to find the right actor, someone who writes the script, all the different, and I'm not going to go into too much details, but that a TV show on its own is not going to be a great success without everything around it. So when we talk about the coaching process, the metaphor of TV series is very powerful because it makes you understand that it is just much more around it and behind it. As you can see, you have the whole production that's behind the scenes. You have what's next season going to come out. What's the pilot? What's the promotion? Because the promotion is so important. And if you look at this is when you look at a coaching session or coaching process that you have with your client, it is like a TV series. It's TV series. You have the first episode. Then have you as I mentioned before, each episode has the season story going on. Then they'll always come back in the same episode, which is also really important in your coaching because you need to always refer back to the goals that you set up in the beginning with your client. Are we still on track? Does that make sense? And then each episode you have the story, which also have in coaching that you have the topic. Know what that's going on, and then at the end of that episode or a coaching session, this is where that episode story finishes.
One of the things that I personally appreciate about the metaphor, logically I get it. Yep, that makes sense. There's behind the scenes. We all know the power of metaphor, and when we give ourselves permission to sit with a metaphor, we see so much more. But for me, there's a couple of things that stand out. One, it reminds me as a coach that each episode is part of a larger story. Like a chapter in a book, it's another metaphor. And when I hold that, I can also start to recognize, but also be gentle on myself to remember that I don't have to create transformation in every single session. I want to evoke transformation. I want to inspire transformation. And I also want to recognize that the coaching relationship and the client, and of course we're all on this journey as well. And so my curiosity about how the season is unfolding provides a higher level of curiosity, which I think allows me to ask different questions. And then Erwin, while you were talking a minute ago, now I'm taking a sidestep, so apologies for that. But the insight I had, Erwin, as you were speaking, is that this is a great metaphor to share with clients that have never been through coaching before.
Oh.
Where for a client to go, oh, there's a whole lot of behind the scenes stuff. And client, you're not the audience of this journey. You're a producer, you're a director, you're involved. And client, what are the behind the scenes things that you want to build in that will serve you in showing up powerfully in this journey? And then, of course, to use that again when we come back towards reviews or towards the end and go, well, hey, tell us about the series as it's unfolded. I got excited by playing with that because I was teaching about using story in coaching and how to use that to free up clients' thoughts. And so I made that connection.
Oh.
So as you can see, there's a whole lot here. It's very simple in terms of the parallels. We've got the delivery component of coaching. And as some of you are putting into the chat, there's a lot of stuff that goes around it. We've called it project management and admin. And I saw someone's chat about stakeholder management. That can be a whole other level when we start to work with the complexities in organizations and multiple participants in groups. We tried to not get too excited by that. But it's so true. We've got to have different levels of management to be able to drive the business, drive the program, drive the impact. And when we start to look at the organizational system that we've created, we often, as coaches, we often think we're running the show, but actually as coaches, we're an employee of us wearing a CEO hat. Yeah. As a business owner, we got to make decisions for the business, and then the coach provides the delivery of the product or service, and there's a whole lot of business that sits around that. I'm not going to go too much into that today, but it is some conversations we've been having recently. So as you can see, we've got the delivery phase, discovery, coaching, completion. There's business-related admin, there's coaching-related admin. And as that list in the chat is there's a lot of other things that can go in. We spoke about contracting, admin, invoicing, scheduling, some of the administrative, let's kind of make stuff happen. But also let's come back and check in. Where are we on the delivery? We as I said to someone this morning that they're going through their certification program, there's promises that they've made to their clients. And in their instance, they're also going through a training program. So they need to work with their clients and practice the new skills, but also remember that coaching is not just about them as a student. Coaching is about them in service of their client, and to keep that in mind so they can work with their client to deliver those promises, to hold accountability to themselves, to the progress, not with a stick, but with curiosity. So we can learn from, the best stories have got challenges and villains and excitement and all of these things that show up. And so we get to bring all of that in. Yeah, Erwin, what do you want people to know about the blue stuff, particularly on the right?
So it is enormously important, and certainly I already work with a client. There is what's next is such a powerful but an important question to do and to think about with your clients. On the one end, which is on the top, is looking at what can I get from the client that is going to help me to get more clients, so that I don't have to do less marketing, but I can use it in marketing. I can get more clients in the process. So testimonials, just ask for clients for testimonials, ask for referrals, get success stories. These are such important material that is going to help you to continue to grow your coaching business and get more people into the door. That is one part. On the other part, it's always the question when you finish a certain coaching process with with a client. And like in the the metaphor of TV series, the question is next season. What's coming next for you, client? And that's an important to look at. What can I offer clients so that they can continue coaching? So hey, let's do another season and work together. Right? It could be another goal setting for that season, for that coaching process. But you can also say, listen, the coaching, that's where we are, but maybe there's certain programs that I have or that maybe other people have that I'm collaborating with that could be interesting. Maybe a mastermind. What we want to say with this, it's very important when you get to an end at the end of a coaching process with a coachee, with a client, is to think what's next. That question is so powerful, not only for, so it's a double question because it's to the client. Hey client, what's next for you? What's the next steps? But you need to think as well, and putting the CEO hat on at that moment, say, okay, what's next for me with you, client, for my coaching business, for my business? It is really important because this is going to allow you that the wheel continues to turning for your client, but also for yourself.
Yeah, actually, completion conversations are some of my favorite, because we get to celebrate, we get to acknowledge, and I want to walk away. I like the success stories one because clients love hearing success stories. The new clients love hearing success stories of other clients. It's part of the testimony. It's part of the credibility. And there's something really cool about being able to share success stories that allows us to own our own contribution to that. We're not the ones that are creating a success. This is our client's success. But for us to be partnered in that journey is a great reminder for us, especially when things get challenging, especially when life happens. And to be actually going, look, there is an impact that I'm having, and it's on purpose, and I'm honoring my values, and I'm doing the right thing. But we don't take the time to ask those questions, we don't get those answers. And if we don't have them, our clients don't have them. So
Yeah.
this is
And
not
then the other two boxes that are on the other side are also really important, the marketing and sales, because that is where that wheel starts running as well. And if you do your questions correctly, what's next with testimonial referrals, this is going to help you much easier to get more clients in and potential clients into a sample session or a chemistry session.
one little tip that I learned from me when I started looking at this level of coaching was I'm going to look a little, I'm a little hesitant to share it. But actually, for me, the power of scheduling multiple sessions from the very beginning with a client. Yeah, there are a lot of times when I'd book a meeting from a meeting. From the sample session, I'd book discovery. From discovery, I'd book the next one. But what I've learned over time is that that's actually harder work than it needs to be for me. And that when I can set up a regular appointment, I've got one client every 2 weeks, we've got a recurrent meeting. And if he can't make it, he sends me a message. If I can't make it, I send him a message, and we just sort of push it a week. For me, that little tiny thing of knowing that the next 3, 4, 5 months of sessions is already scheduled allows me to relax into the coaching and pay a lot more attention to the client. It feels simple, it feels obvious, but it wasn't until I saw it. So I wanted to share that it can be those little things like a metaphor, like taking a stone out of your shoe. Just a little stone, but you take it out and suddenly you can walk with much more freedom, ease, and go for longer.
It's something else also, Steve, is you all said in the chat that the things that you love if you ask coaching or admin, you were saying coaching, of course. So, and that is what you want to do, and it's important that you do. So what we were saying with all the rest around it, and what Steve just said as an example, if you can establish this and make this and build this out, you can focus much more on the coaching. You don't have to worry about that rest because you already have it structured out there working.
I love it. The other thing that, as I'm reflecting right now, as we do, and we're asked great questions, um, when I have built predictability into the coaching process with my clients,
Mhm.
they have engaged more. When I've been ad hoc or emergent as a coach, my clients have been more like that. You know, it's that old adage that your clients bring your topics to you, or how we show up as a coach is how they show up. How they are showing up is often a reflection of how we are showing up. And so when I can pay attention to my client's journey and what's going to help them, and when I can sit back and go, what do I know about the best clients that I've worked with? And then how can I teach my next client to be like that? And I think it's a really fun exercise or conversation to have with a colleague to learn from the successes, you know, an appreciative inquiry type approach for those of you that are familiar with that. And to be able to go, the best clients, the clients that get the best outcomes. My favorite clients to work with, the ones that go fastest, further, and deliver the results, the ones that have the most profound shift in the coaching journeys. And by the way, this isn't just narrative that I get to use as a coach to design what's going on, but these I'll also design with my client. I'll tell them, I'll say, hey, client, have you worked with a coach before? What did you love about it? What worked? I love it when they have, because they get to go, what worked? What did you learn from that coach that you want for us to implement, either the same or differently in our journey together? And so now we can actually weave that in. Or if they haven't, of course, we can say, well, let me tell you about the best clients that I've worked with. The best clients are the ones who come prepared. Even if they don't know what the topic is, they come ready to explore what it is, that they've taken some action, that they've, that, oh, here's a favorite design, that when you don't want to come to the coaching session, you come to the coaching session and you let me know that you didn't want to come. Yeah. And what I love about that design is it starts to train clients what a topic actually is, but also to recognize that if there's stuff between us, that they can bring it and put it on the table so that we can move forwards. And of course, all of this comes because they've been able to sit back and look at that bigger picture and go, what helps us to create this series in a way that's going to deliver the outcomes that it needs.
And if clients come not having a topic or not having already that, like in the metaphor again, the SEER series, that you have that the whole story of the season, which you has with your goal setting, that allows you also to say, look, you don't have a topic, but let's connect maybe with what you decided in the beginning. Are we still on track? What's going on? So there's always something there.
I love it. So let's move on a little bit and then we can open up for questions.
Yes.
We've thrown a lot at you. There's definitely a lot there. One of the things that prompted us to have this conversation really is that we're seeing that the people that we're working with often don't know who to ask or how to ask or what to ask or even where to look. And one of the things that's important for Erwin and I is that we can be leveraging the brilliance of the Coaching Tools Company to provide platforms where we can be partnering with you, whatever that looks like, in ways to help you bring your brilliance, own your brilliance, and bring this into the world. So this is where we've looked at. We show the simplified version because it's a great reminder that there are just a couple of key things to pay attention to. And when we look at the big picture is what creates the big picture impact. And of course, this profound metaphor that I keep chewing on, Erwin, is that the coaching journey and process really is like a TV series. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. There's a key theme, there's key characters. The characters develop and grow. There are also challenges and things to learn, and there's things that look like they're not going to happen until they do. And of course, you can definitely connect this back to Joseph Campbell, The Hero's Journey. and things like that as well.
So having, and I've mentioned that before already, but having all the right and all the necessary pieces that you need and have that in place will allow you to coach at your best. That's the aim as well. You all love coaching, meaning that you want to give the best as possible you can with your clients and sitting down and help them. But that means you need to have everything in place and everything there so you don't have to worry about it, so you can really focus on your client
Or,
in
or,
the session you have.
yeah, or at least have a plan to put it together so that over time you're improving, enhancing, and getting better. Don't have to have it done at the start. So what we've covered so far, great coaching really is much more than a session, even though there is profound work that happens in those sessions. There is magic there. That how do we convey, how do we extend, how do we support and sustain those seeds that have been planted? And how do we help the clients, our coaches, to be doing the same thing? But also to remember the preparation, the structure, the things that happen around, off stage, behind the scenes. We know that in the Olympics, there's one person that crosses the finish line, but there's a team of people behind them, whether that's systems, automation, structures, standard operating procedures, or actually a team. What's going to help you flourish and be at your best? And most of us are doing this without a clear map or support. In fact, I was talking to or coaching a master coach or soon to be master coach the other day who had been strong in business. She'd run businesses, she'd sold businesses, she'd been super executive in what she was doing. And one of the things that she was struggling with was understanding what her model of business wanted to be so that she could flourish as a coach. Because she stepped out of that business so that she could flourish and build relationships and pay attention to what was important, and got into coaching because of that. And because her motivation was to step away from business into coaching, she was struggling to create or to take her coaching back into business and to build a business around it, because she didn't like what she saw back in the old day about how she showed up in business. And so the conversation was insightful and inspiring about, well, how does she want to redefine that? What is the map that she wants to build that will serve and support her in being the coach that she knows she wants to be? And just for her to hear that was like, I'd never thought about that.
And
These
on
are
top,
go ahead.
and just connecting with that, you mentioned it before, but it is so important as a coach that you have your own coaching business. You're wearing more than one hat. You're wearing several hats. And that's also what we see in the coaching process. As you deliver the coaching, you deliver it as a coach. But when you go more on the project management level, you start getting on the level of a CEO of your business. What is important? These are two different hats that you have. And actually there's some more hats, but I'm going to keep it simple. Okay. But and that is the point that you understand, that you say as a coach, you always want to put the coaching hat on. And admin, well, I don't want to think about it. I do not want to think about all the other things because it's not what I like to do. But it is, if you don't like to do it, if you decide to become a coach, it is a hat that you need to put on. You like it or not, it is important.
or delegate. It's still got to get done.
Yes, but it needs to be done.
One of the things now, with your permission, we'd love to share with you a little bit about our mentor program. For some of you, it may work, it may not be for right now.
Mhm.
But we've been working on a mentor program, and we heard lots of feedback recently about the opportunity to have conversations, to explore things like this, to see what we haven't seen, but also to come together with other coaches in service of this shared purpose of how do we progress and how do we grow. So if we can take a couple of minutes just real quick to share with you that opportunity, we certainly love you to join us if the opportunity serves you right now. And then once we've done that, we'll open up for Q&A to see what other questions are emerging. as we've covered this path today.
So the mentor program, what is really the benefits of the mentor program? So it's training program around the coaching process about what we've been talking. So it's a monthly call about content specifically, but we also have a monthly AMA, Ask Us or Ask Me Anything call, where you can ask whatever is going on your mind in your current coaching business to about the content that we've been talking about. You have access to mentors, not only Steve and myself, but some faculty members as well. There is a community where you can connect with other coaches, mentor program participants, and the necessary support. Building out your coaching business process, which is really important. And of course, you get access to a lot of resources.
Some of the topics we've spoken about are the sample sessions. What's a flow and a structure to use in a sample session to enroll potential clients, not just into being clients and paying and signing up with you, but also to enroll them into their journey as you go forwards with them. We did discovery sessions about how to structure one or more sessions of discovery where you can discover your client can discover themselves. We had a rich conversation the other day. One of our one of the people in the program won a corporate client, and they're like, wow, I've got to do all of this. Now what? And it was so awesome. One, to see them out there having conversations and seeing where they could add value and being committed into action. And two, that they could come back to us, not just Erwin and I, but actually there was another participant in the program who had just finished a program with her corporate clients. And we were able to integrate and help all of us actually step forwards with greater clarity and confidence.
Exactly.
Very simply, in other words, monthly content calls. Ask Me Anything. These are super cool, unstructured, but bring any topic, challenges, insights, questions that you want. The community is super cool. Yes, the hours count towards your CCEUs for the ICF. If you are credentialed with another body, Association of Coaching, EMCC, or some others around the world, let us know and we'll do the writing up that we need to in service of getting those hours recognized. We have also decided to give you access to the recordings of the program from December all the way until now. Doesn't mean we can't come back to those topics, but it does mean that you get a chance to see the topics, see the summaries and the tips and the insights that have come out of them. And we're going to give to you all of the Coaching Tools Company branded tools, including, if I'm not mistaken, the new Executive and Leadership Coaching Toolkit. These are all Coaching Tools Company branded, which means they're ready to use.
Yes.
They're not editable, but they are ready to use straight away with your clients. Get them out there, get them, make them happen.
Exactly.
The normal price for this, as we saw, it's valued over $20,000. Normal price is just under $3,000. We've decided to offer a 20% discount. And I think we're looking at what that's about 10 days, I think.
Yes.
We've got to clarify when our close date is, but it's not this week. I think it's next week sometime.
Yes.
You can use the link at the bottom. You can QR codes to link in there, or email team at the Coaching Tools Company if you've got any more questions around all of this. The monthly installments is an option. If you don't want to pay it up front, then you can pay monthly. The key thing here is find what works for you to connect with the experience, the knowledge, and the wisdom of the community that we've got in service of you, your work, and of course, a little bit selfish, we'd love to have your wisdom and insights in the group, taking a different perspective as always. So, Emma, you're not a coach, but you are helping us out and then doing a lot of the admin and our project management.
Yeah.
What do you, and you get to hang out at these mentor program calls as well, what do you love most about being in those calls?
I
Putting
think
her on the spot, by the way.
Yeah.
I know. Thank you so much. I'm going to get you for this. Wait. I think for me personally, I love to see those just the aha moments from the coaches as well. Sorry, the mentors, the mentees. See, I'm getting nervous now. Thanks, Steve. But they just the questions that they're coming with, and just they're getting so much information from the sessions. They're learning so much. It's just a wonderful experience, and everyone, it's such a great community. I just absolutely love it.
Awesome. Thank you for it, dancing. I love it. Well, George, thank you for transitioning us to questions. We're going to open up. If you've got questions, put them in the chat. We will answer them. And we can also hear some voices in the space here as well. What we're going to do is we will set up a replay, so you'll get access to the video. Afterwards, we'll send you out an email so that you can check in with, see what's emerging and have another look there. So yes, George. Any other questions? It may be about the mentor program. It may be about the metaphor. Heck, you've got us for the next 10 or 15 minutes. It could be about anything. He gets a bit worried about where the question could be going.
So Catherine is asking, how long are the mentor sessions? So they're 1 hour. So it's a 1 hour session each. So we try to stay in that hour. Maybe once or twice we run over, but that's because the questions were and they really wanted to answer the questions. So we, of course, if there's something to finish, we finish it off, but we try to keep it within 1 hour.
Absolutely. 12 months is the program. We find that's a good time to get momentum, get successes, keep moving forwards, and allow us to build some really powerful relationships. One of the things that we're building into the program is, as we've said, it's not just about Erwin and I sitting at the front of the room. I might have gone through the hoops to get a master coach credential, but actually the way that you see things is transformational as well. And so coming together in the community, it's one of the things, you know, Emma, you mentioned it, but I find the same thing. I learn when I get on those calls because, unsurprisingly, because we're coach-like in conversation. And we move together in service of each other.
I would say one more thing is the successes that everyone is having as well. I love that every week because they just keep coming with more and new successes, and it's just wonderful to see. So yeah.
Good. What else have we got here? A 12-month program.
Yes.
We will also give you access to the recordings from the previous 6 months, so you can have the calls. We've got people all the way across in Australia who, to be honest, struggle to attend calls at this sort of time of the day because it's their sleeping time. But they're loving the recordings and the conversation they're having around them. We are opening up now. This is our second launch of the program. It's not cohort based as such, but we are opening up at different times. So there'll be new people joining up in the next few weeks. We may open it up again later in July. It won't be at the same price point as it is here.
No.
And we've had people that are like, actually, December wasn't for me, and now they're ready. It's one of those things that as coaches, we want to provide the opportunity and the support, and when the time is right, when you're ready, let us know and jump on in.
Tito is asking, what additional benefits a coach would get by this program over and above coach supervision sessions offered by many mentor coaches?
Good. So coach supervision is currently not part of this program, formally at least. Coach supervision is where you and a supervisor would review a coaching call that you've had. Take a recording or watch it, you get feedback around the ICF competencies, how they match, and you can really explore how you as a coach are showing up, where you're strong, and where you can be developing and growing. So, but even though that's not formally part of it, if you've got stuff, you can send it in, we can have conversations around that. And definitely if you've got challenges, opportunities, or even brilliance that's showing up, bring that into conversation. That said, a lot of not the supervision type conversations, but mentoring in the true sense of the word conversations, everything I'm doing with my mentor clients, I'm bringing into the program. I had a sample session for a personal one-on-one client today for me to mentor them through their certification process. And it was really exciting because I got to talk about, sample sessions and discovery and this, and I could hear where structure would help them take things to the next level. So I'm taking that one-on-one insight as I'm actively working with coaches and feeding it in to the program. And we are flexible and adaptable. So if you've got other questions that weave in, what else do I want to share? I was on the board of the ICF. I was the director of development in Dubai a few years back. And so I'm intimately familiar with the ICF competencies, the ethics, the PCC markers, and all of those different things. And so as we're going through the different topics, we weave that in. And if you have any questions about those things, or you're coming up to assessments, renewals, or things like that, then we can weave it in. We have some plans for some other programs and to focus more in these areas, which, while it's not a promise, we do wherever possible pilot things with our mentor group.
Yeah.
Um,
And Sasha, the calls are there's 2 calls a month. So we normally have the first and third week of the month a call. So the first week is normally a content call, and then the third week we do have an AMA Ask Us Anything call.
they're fun because we have no idea where we're going to go with them.
No, with the AMAs, it's amazing. So whatever is like last time that we have say, hey, I just got a new organization client. Help! What do I need? I got this, and what I'm missing this, and so this this is something that is available there for you as well to bring anything that you have related, so that we can help you out on that.
No, that's a cool question, Samantha. I really love that one. I don't know the answer. I don't know how I feel about sharing that. Let us take that away and reflect upon it. And we'll see what answer we can get to you about that. And if it's not a recording, what else we could do. But I'm loving that question. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Any coaching questions or anything related to that we've been talking about the coaching process or about the program?
They've all been busy coaching. They're all questioned out.
No, they don't want to ask the admin questions, Steve.
That's cool. Emma's awesome at admin.
Yeah, she is.
It's not being put on the spot, apparently.
You are awesome, and thanks for playing. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
It's one of the things sometimes I get a little bit cheeky, and if Emma's put on the spot, you get whatever comes out, which is the risk that I take, but it's also the gift that you get. So cool. All right. Well, if there's no other questions, we'd love to hear in the chat, or as I say that there's questions, we'd love to hear in the chat, what are your insights? What are you taking away from our time here today? As you're doing that, we'll look at George's question. A free coaching. George, are you able to unmute and us hear your voice?
Okay, sorry about that.
Hey, awesome. Ask your question again and tell us a little bit more about what you mean.
Well, when you were going through the slide, when you were saying it was like a TV series, you had mentioned actually twice something about a free sample coaching session. And I'm trying to figure out if is that like an assessment where you guys find out whether or not you're a good fit to work together, or is it something else?
In general, yes. exactly to all of those options. Um,
Okay.
the sample session that I teach, in other words, it's a sales call. It's a potential client that comes in, hasn't necessarily yet decided whether they want coaching or you're the coach. And so there's an enrollment in organization. Organizational clients will often, at least in my world, meet 2 or 3 different coaches. They're already committed to the coaching journey as a coachee, but it's like, who do I want to work with? And so they get a taster session with each of the coaches. That's the sort of session that I mean. Sometimes, absolutely, it's an assessment. If you've got an assessment and you're doing feedback, and that's part of your process and your as a lead generator, brilliant. Or it's just someone's found you. They come onto your website, go, "Hey, George, like this looks exciting. Can I see if I want to get started or not?" Some
Okay.
people don't have that, and they go straight into paid. And we actually had a talk about that in the program the other day. How do you get people to pay for the taster session? And there's definitely a lot of coaches out there that will offer a free first session, and this is that session.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Cool. We got some insights. Make sure you read through some of the insights. In any group setting, the biggest insights that I get are often from the insights of others. Like that's the synergy, the power of the relationship. Samantha's asking, do we use external admin support to schedule coaching sessions or manage yourself? When I'm working on organizational projects for others, so when I freelance for others on their brand, wherever possible, I will get their project manager to manage the project. Otherwise, I will manage it myself. I tend to use repeated schedules where I can put it into my calendar. Depending on my clients, I will often use calendar, things like Calendly, where they can book systems like that to make it easy and simple. Ultimately, there's 2 things that are important. One, I want to get the sessions on the calendar so that the client can build their life around coaching rather than try and fit coaching into their lives. There's no time for coaching if they've got to squeeze it in, but there's plenty of time if they build everything around it. And that's a mindset that I work with clients to shift. And secondly, that it's really easy for them to, hey, Steve, I can't make that. Can I reschedule? Yes, when? And we can move stuff around. So there's structure and flexibility.
Good. Well, thank you everybody for being here. If you have any questions about a mentor program, you can reach out at team@thecoachingtoolscompany.com. Thank you for loving the TV series Metaphor. I love Metaphor, so please have any questions. We're there to answer you about the mentor program that you may have. If it's the right time, we will be happy to welcome you in our next call. If not, well then maybe next time. But we're looking forward for you to be there.
Great to see you here. Keep coaching, keep learning, stay in touch, stay connected. And we look forward to seeing what emerges for all of us as we go forward.
All right. Okay. Thank you, everybody. And hope to see you soon. Bye.
Lovely seeing you all. Thank you so much.